Burnout has become a widespread phenomenon, capturing attention as a major societal issue. In recent years, the number of cases has surged, affecting employees across various sectors. This rise reflects a growing psychological distress in the workplace, where many struggle to cope with increasing demands and pressures. Understanding burnout is crucial, as it not only impacts individual well-being, but also influences productivity and the overall atmosphere within companies. The concept of a silent epidemic of burnout is intriguing, especially considering how often the topic appears in the media. Despite this widespread coverage, many people still struggle to grasp the true scope and nature of burnout. It's not just about feeling tired or stressed, it's a deeper, more complex issue that affects both individuals and society. So, why is burnout still misunderstood, even though it's talked about so much? This section invites us to explore whether we really understand what burnout means and why it continues to quietly impact so many lives. Today, we often think of ourselves as living in a free society, where visible chains and restrictions seem to have disappeared. Yet, despite this apparent freedom, many people experience a sense of collective fatigue or weariness. It's a paradox. The more choices and autonomy we have, the more overwhelming life can sometimes feel. This modern form of freedom brings its own challenges, as individuals navigate expectations, pressures, and the constant flow of information. The result is a society that is technically unbound, but still searching for meaning and balance. When we look beyond the usual suspects like economic pressures or poor management, the roots of burnout reveal themselves as much deeper and more complex. It's not just about deadlines or workloads. It's also about our search for meaning, the values we hold, and how we connect with our work on a personal level. Sometimes, the feeling of disconnect or lack of purpose can weigh just as heavily as any external stress. Philosophical questions about fulfillment and moral dilemmas about what we contribute to society often play a role. Understanding burnout means considering not only the practical aspects, but also these profound human dimensions. Some thinkers suggest that in today's world, we've become both the masters and the slaves of our own lives. We manage ourselves almost like small businesses, constantly optimizing, planning, and striving for efficiency. This approach means we're responsible for every aspect of our daily routines, from productivity to personal growth. While it can feel empowering to be in control, it also brings a lot of pressure, as we're always trying to meet our own expectations. It's a fascinating shift that changes how we see ourselves and our responsibilities. The concept of the society of fatigue was introduced by South Korean philosopher Byung-Chul Han. He describes a world where individuals are constantly pushed to perform, achieve, and optimize themselves, leading to exhaustion and burnout. Unlike previous eras marked by external oppression, today's fatigue stems from internal pressure and the relentless pursuit of self-improvement. This idea resonates strongly in our current times, where mental health concerns and stress are increasingly discussed. Han's analysis invites us to reflect on how modern life's demands can quietly wear us down, even as we strive to be our best. Let's take a look back at how authority has evolved over time. In the past, societies were often described as disciplinary, where strict rules and surveillance shaped people's behavior. Philosopher Michel Foucault explored this idea, showing how institutions like schools, prisons, and hospitals used discipline to maintain order. As we moved into the modern era, authority became more subtle, focusing less on direct control and more on guiding individuals through norms and expectations. This shift reflects broader changes in how power operates in society, moving from visible constraints to more invisible influences. The disciplinary society, with its strict rules and hierarchical structures, was once used to explain many forms of stress and exhaustion at work. However, when it comes to understanding contemporary burnout, these old frameworks seem a bit outdated. Today, new modes of domination have emerged, like constant performance pressure and the demand for flexibility, which go beyond simple obedience. These changes make burnout more complex, as individuals face not only external control, but also internalized expectations. This transition highlights how modern society shapes our experiences in ways that differ from traditional discipline. Over the past decades, work has undergone a significant transformation. We've shifted from jobs that required mostly physical effort to roles that demand more intellectual skills and creativity. This change has also led many to question whether traditional discipline and rigid routines are still effective in today's workplace. Instead, flexibility and autonomy are becoming more valued as they often help boost motivation and innovation. It's a fascinating evolution that reflects how our society adapts to new challenges and opportunities. In recent years, we've seen the rise of a performance-driven society, where traditional forms of pressure and fear are gradually being replaced by concepts like engagement and commitment. Instead of being forced to act out of obligation, people are encouraged to participate and invest themselves in their work or activities. This shift aims to foster a more positive environment, where motivation comes from within rather than external constraints. It's a change that reflects broader trends in how organizations and communities value personal initiative and collective enthusiasm. Let's take a look at The Office and its iconic character, Michael Scott. Michael is known for his unique management style, which is driven by emotion and a genuine desire to connect with his team. He often tries to create a family-like atmosphere at work, sometimes blurring the lines between professional and personal relationships. While his approach can lead to some awkward or hilarious situations, it also highlights the importance of emotional engagement in leadership. Through Michael, we see how effective management can both unite a team and present unexpected challenges. Modern management has shifted its focus toward valuing each individual within the company. This approach encourages employees to fully engage with their work, often blurring the lines between professional and personal identity. As a result, the workplace becomes more than just a job. It transforms into an extension of who people are. While this can boost motivation and creativity, it also raises questions about boundaries and the balance between work and personal life. Management by adherence, often praised for its focus on employee engagement, can sometimes lead to unexpected pitfalls. When managers apply so-called benevolent methods mechanically, without genuine understanding or adaptation, the approach risks becoming superficial. Instead of fostering real involvement, it may create pressure to conform, making employees feel obligated rather than motivated. This can dilute the authenticity of workplace relationships and even undermine trust. Ultimately, true engagement comes from meaningful dialogue and flexibility, not just ticking boxes on a management checklist. Sometimes, life leads us to take jobs that aren't exactly glamorous or highly valued by society. For many, this experience can feel like a forced engagement, driven by necessity rather than choice. Yet there's a surprising sense of pride that can emerge from these roles, even when they're overlooked by others. It's about finding meaning in hard work and recognizing the importance of every contribution, no matter how small it may seem. This paradoxical pride reminds us that dignity isn't tied to job titles, but to the effort and resilience we show every day. Modern capitalism has managed to pull off quite a feat. It turns exploitation into something that feels like self-fulfillment. Instead of simply following orders, people are encouraged to see their work as a path to personal growth and achievement. At the same time, the system promotes self-discipline, making individuals responsible for their own productivity and success. This shift blurs the lines between personal ambition and economic necessity, creating a culture where working harder is seen as a virtue. It's a clever way of motivating people, but it also raises important questions about the true nature of freedom and fulfillment in today's society. Byung-Chul Han explores how our society has shifted from the imperative "you must" to the more subtle "you can." This change reflects a move away from external constraints towards internal motivation, where individuals feel empowered but also pressured to constantly perform and achieve. Han argues that this creates an excess of positivity, as people are encouraged to always be productive and happy, masking any struggles or failures. In the end, this relentless pursuit of performance can lead to exhaustion and a loss of genuine freedom, as the pressure to succeed becomes self-imposed. When personal and professional interests merge, it can lead to the emergence of a new moral order. This shift often means that values and behaviors are redefined, sometimes blurring the lines between what is considered private and what belongs to the workplace. As a result, every aspect of life may be seen as an opportunity to serve professional goals, leading to the instrumentalization of relationships, hobbies, and even personal beliefs. This phenomenon raises important questions about authenticity and the balance between work and personal life. It's a trend that invites us to reflect on how we define success and fulfillment in today's society. Many people today feel the need to find meaning in their lives, especially through creative projects. Unlike the constant pressure for performance at work, these personal endeavors allow us to express ourselves freely and reconnect with what truly matters to us. Whether it's painting, writing, or starting a small business, creative activities can offer a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond professional achievement. It's a way to balance the demands of the workplace with our own aspirations, and sometimes, it even helps us discover new passions or talents we never knew we had. The MS Discord server stands out as a welcoming space for mutual support and creative freedom. Unlike traditional environments that often focus on performance and competition, this community encourages members to share ideas, collaborate, and express themselves without pressure. People can experiment, learn from each other, and grow at their own pace. It's a refreshing change that helps break away from rigid expectations, fostering a sense of belonging and empowerment. Here, creativity thrives because everyone feels free to explore and connect. In today's society, the pressure to perform is no longer just imposed from the outside. Instead, it has moved inward, becoming something we carry within ourselves. This internalized sense of obligation means that we often push ourselves harder, feeling responsible for meeting high standards. As a result, rebelling against these pressures becomes more complicated, since the constraints feel like part of our own identity. It's a subtle shift that makes questioning or resisting the system much more challenging. Today, the idea of performance isn't just limited to work or athletics. It's spreading into every aspect of our daily lives, from how we sleep to the way we read or even enjoy our hobbies. People are increasingly looking for ways to optimize everything, hoping to get the most out of each activity. Whether it's tracking sleep cycles, measuring reading speed, or improving leisure time, the quest for efficiency is everywhere. This shift reflects a broader trend where maximizing results has become a common goal, even in moments meant for relaxation. Modern fatigue is no longer just about feeling tired after a long day. It's becoming a real health concern. Many people experience mental overload, finding it hard to set boundaries between work and personal life. Sometimes, simply taking a break can trigger feelings of guilt or even a sense of betraying oneself. This shows how deeply our relationship with rest and productivity has changed in today's fast-paced world. Understanding these dynamics is key to addressing the root causes of pathological fatigue. Burnout is often described as a breaking point, where someone feels unable to meet their own high standards of perfection. It's like setting the bar so high that no matter how hard you try, it always seems out of reach. Imagine a machine that keeps running without pause. It eventually overheats and shuts down. In the same way, when we push ourselves relentlessly, our minds and bodies can't keep up, leading to exhaustion and a sense of collapse. This metaphor helps us understand why burnout isn't just about being tired, but about feeling completely overwhelmed and disconnected from our goals. The rise of artificial intelligence has sparked a lot of questions about its impact on our daily lives, especially when it comes to work. Some wonder if AI will eventually abolish traditional jobs, making human labor obsolete. Others believe that rather than eliminating work, AI will simply shift the focus, pushing us toward new forms of performance and productivity. It's a complex issue, as technology often changes the way we approach tasks rather than removing them entirely. Ultimately, the role of AI will depend on how society chooses to integrate it into our workplaces and routines. For centuries, technological advancements and progress were expected to free humanity from the burdens of work. Thinkers and inventors imagined a future where machines would handle labor, allowing people to enjoy more leisure and creativity. Yet despite these historic promises, work remains a central value in our societies. The idea of being liberated from work hasn't materialized as anticipated, and instead, new forms of employment and responsibilities have emerged. This persistence highlights how deeply the concept of work is woven into our culture and identity.